Well, good evening, Goa. Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you who've tuned into 105.4 FM Rainbow. In the studios with me, I have got Dr. Maria Barreto and Dr. Farima Vaz, who've joined us to talk about a very important topic, as I said at the start of this program, and that is the month of October is dedicated to raising awareness on breast cancer. And I have both of them joining me in the studio. Thank you for joining us out here this evening. It's great to have you with us. Both of them are currently at the Goa Medical College in Bambolim. So let's hear from Dr. Maria Barreto and Dr. Farima Vaz.
Hello, myself Farima Vaz, and I'm working as a junior resident in the Department of Medical Oncology.
Hi, this is Dr. Maria Barreto here. I work as a medical officer in the Department of Medical Oncology in Goa Medical College.
It's absolutely great to have you with us, doctors. And I have to say, this awareness campaign, which even All India Radio has been talking about, it's such an important campaign. And we have an entire month which is actually dedicated for this campaign. So my very first question to the both of you is 1 month actually needed for this entire campaign? Could you tell us a little bit more about it?
Breast cancer, if you go to see, is one of the commonest cancers seen in women. 1 in every 8 women is bound to develop it throughout their lifetime. However, if you go to see, it is also a highly curable cancer. It responds very well to chemotherapy. So if it is detected earlier and treated earlier, you can actually save lives. Okay. Now, the problem in our country is that most of the women are often hesitant to report breast-related symptoms. Okay. It might be because of shyness, awkwardness, or our cultural taboos. So these women often end up being diagnosed at a late stage, when the disease may have already become incurable. So, breast cancer awareness becomes a very important aspect of women's health care. Okay, especially for a cancer which, if detected earlier, is curable.
All right, so as you just said, that if you actually detect it early, there's a high chance of treatment available and actually recovery, right?
Yes.
So then my question is, what is the scene in Goa right now? Because as you said, the cancer is something which is prevalent all over India. What is the scene in Goa?
Yeah, so the incidence of breast cancer in Goa is similar to the rest of India and the rest of the world. And in our unit in Goa Medical College, out of the 2,000 patients, in the last 2 years, 500 patients are detected with breast cancer. And that is around 25% of the total number of breast cancer cases that we have seen in Goa Medical College in the last 2 years. So, however, in Goa, awareness is not lacking. About 40% of the women do report in the early stages of breast cancer, and by increasing the awareness, we hope to increase the percentage to 75%.
Wow. So you mean to say that 40% of women in Goa are already aware about breast cancer awareness? Yeah. That's right. So then I have to ask, if 40% of women are aware, then how do we go about it? I mean, why do we need another month for more awareness? What is the reason for that?
So basically, 40% is a good number actually. Okay, but then we need to put in extra effort to increase that awareness. Okay, there are people who are uneducated. We need to reach out to them, and this is actually a very good opportunity that you have given to us to reach out to the radio. It goes out to many people. Okay, so from our point of view, we are holding on, awareness campaigns like in the form of poster competitions. We have printed posters, put them all over GMC. Okay, and because of this COVID restrictions, we have our limitations also this year. If we could do even more than that.
All right. So, yes, Goa, you just heard of a little bit of information that Dr. Maria Barreto and Dr. Farima Vaz spoke to us in this very important topic of breast cancer awareness. And this entire month of October, in fact, is dedicated to breast cancer awareness. Now, at the start of this discussion, we spoke about the need for awareness. 40% of women in Goa are already aware of it, and we want to push it to a lot more higher. So the first question then I have to ask you right now is, when do women actually suspect that they have breast cancer?
The most important and commonest symptom of breast cancer is a painless lump in the breast. Now, let me stress on the word painless here. Okay, women often have a tendency of ignoring this painless lump. Okay, we have women who have presented to us with having histories of having this painless lump for more than 2 years, and who came to us only when they were bothered by some other symptom, by which time it is often too late. So what I'm trying to say here is that when a woman feels a lump in the breast and it is painless, it is all the more worrisome. Now, saying that, you'd also remember that not every lump is cancer. Okay, it can very well be a non-cancerous condition like a fibroadenoma. So although there is no need to panic when you feel a lump, every lump felt in the breast should be investigated.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
Okay, there are other symptoms also. These include changes in the shape and size of the breast. That is, one breast might appear to be bigger or smaller or shrunken as compared to the other breast.
Okay.
There may be changes in the nipple. It might appear to be indrawn or puckered.
Okay.
There may be discharge from the nipple. Okay, or even the skin of the breast might show changes like redness, dimpling, thickening, or ulceration. So the moment you have any of these symptoms, you should immediately approach your doctor.
All right. So, yes, listeners, if you're listening in, as I said, Dr. Maria Barreto explains that these are the early symptoms that you need to actually look out for so that you can detect breast cancer. Now, this is my next question to Dr. Farima. How do we actually detect it early? That's the very important question, because you said at the start of this interview as well that if you detect it early, there's a very high, strong chance that you can actually have recovery with the different therapies available. So could you tell us and the listeners who've tuned in, how do we detect cancer early?
So there are three ways that we can detect early breast cancer. So one is self-breast examination. So the self-breast examination is, of course, I cannot demonstrate it right now on radio, but then every woman from the age of 20 has to do self-breast examination and see for any changes like a change in the size and shape of the breast and any dimpling or puckering in the nipple, any change in the shape of the breast, size of the breast. Then, those who are, it should be done every month, preferably on the 8th day of the menstrual cycle. And in post-menopausal women, that is women who have stopped getting their menses or those who have had their uterus removed, it should be done on the 1st of every month.
So you're saying that regularly, almost every month is when women should be checking, as you said, the self-check that they have to do is something that has to be done every month, right, doctor?
Yes.
All right.
Then next includes clinical examination by the doctor. So every woman after the age of 40 should visit the doctor once a year, or at least once in 2 years. And thirdly, there is mammogram. So after the age of 40, it should be done once a year or at least once in 2 years. And earlier, if there is a family history of cancer or there is past history of breast cancer.
All right. So if there is history, is Dr. Farima is saying that you have to go and get yourself checked, and a mammogram, especially for people above 40, women above 40, is something that they should look to do every year or every 2 years at least. All right. I have with me Dr. Farima Vas, who's going to be talking about the next process, which if you are detected with breast cancer, what is the next step that the person or that the lady or the man needs to do when they have been detected with cancer?
So breast cancer, so it is, even though it has different subtypes. So there are different modalities of treatment.
So you're saying there are different types of breast cancer, and each of them has different
individualized treatment
therapies. Okay.
So that includes surgery, chemotherapy, along with targeted therapy, then radiation.
Okay.
And
so there's radiation, there's chemotherapy,
targeted therapy,
and
hormonal therapy.
And hormonal therapy. So those are the 4 treatment methods that are available right now that people can avail if they get detected with early signs of cancer, breast cancer, right? Okay. Once that has been done, what a lot of people do feel stressed out and are worried about when they get detected or when they are detected with cancer. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what you can do, the drugs, and how you can go about it. There's lots of therapy which is available, as Dr. Farima just told us. So my next question is going to be to Dr. Maria Barreto. When you are detected, or when a doctor tells you those fateful words of you do have cancer, a lot of people are stressed out about it because of the complications and what could possibly happen. Could you perhaps enlighten people as to what are the steps or what can they go for? What will happen next when they actually told by their doctors that they have cancer?
So when they are told, people are obviously stressed out. They must have heard about chemo. Okay, the most commonest thing that they'll think about is the hair loss. The second most important thing will be the mastectomy, which is removal of your entire breast, which could be quite traumatizing to the patient.
Most women do have that as a thought process. Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I need to stress here is that not every woman needs to undergo a mastectomy.
Not every woman needs to do it.
In the sense, like, not the removal of the entire breast.
Okay.
Now, if the lump is small, you can remove only that small portion of the breast, followed by radiation therapy.
Okay.
So this whole thing is known as breast conservation therapy. Okay. And so studies have shown basically the results of this breast conservation therapy is similar to that of mastectomy, the removal of the entire breast tissue.
So women do not have to be very worried about the fact is that even if their doctors tell them that, the first thing they shouldn't stress about it, because there is therapy and treatment which is available, and not all the treatments like the mastectomy doesn't always have to be the complete removal of the breast, right? Okay, so in terms of medication which is then available to people, especially to women in Goa, a lot of people are of the opinion that you may not have the best treatment which is available, and if the treatment is available, it could be very expensive. Could you share your thoughts on this topic?
So the drugs that we usually use over here are known as chemo drugs, which are basically drugs that kill the cancer cells. Okay. We also have drugs known as hormonal drugs that basically modulate the hormones of the body to kill the cancer cells. Okay. So initially the perception was that these drugs are expensive and they are not available in Goa, and people usually actually seek out for help outside Goa. Recently we have a new type of therapy known as targeted therapy. Okay, which are drugs that specifically target specific molecules on your cancer cells, and destroy them. And the effects of these are found to be much more better than chemotherapy. They have less side effects than chemotherapy. Okay, now an example of this drug is basically a drug known as trastuzumab. And we do use this drug in our department. It is a very expensive drug, but the Goa government has made it available for free of cost to all Goans.
I think this is something very, very important that I think definitely I'm going to ask you to repeat yourself, because this is something that the Goa government, as you said, has made available free of cost to the Goan community, right? That's amazing. So could you tell us a little bit more then? It's available to people if they just go to the Goa Medical College and they can avail of the drugs.
Even for people who are not residents of Goa, they can avail various type of government schemes to get these drugs for free of cost.
Understood. All right. So yes, listeners, you've heard a lot of information once again coming in from Dr. Maria Barreto, telling you that even if you have been detected with early stages of cancer, of breast cancer, that you do not need to stress and worry about it. There's lots of treatment available, and not very expensive also, because the government of Goa has made provisions that will enable and help you to actually receive good care and good treatment. My next question is with Dr. Farima Vaz, who's joined us in the studio. And of course, we're talking about breast cancer awareness in this month of October. All right, doctor, we've spoken a lot about this topic and we're almost coming to an end. We've spoken about the need for awareness, the scenes in Goa, and how many people are actually aware of it. And we've also spoken about when people actually detect cancer, what are the therapies that are available for them. And of course, it's not very expensive is also what we've discussed. So now, women of what age are actually going to be susceptible to breast cancer? Because there'll be women of different ages listening into this program. Some of them, in fact, with Dr. Maria, stated at the start of this program, it is not always a topic which is spoken about very freely and openly. But there is intense scrutiny and its importance as well, that this is an important topic. So at what age do women need to start actually looking out for early signs of breast detection?
So, young as well as elderly women develop breast cancer, and the risk increases as the age increases. And in our unit at Goa Medical College, the youngest woman we had is 27 years old. And when it occurs in young women, that is women below the age of 40 years, we need to take detail of family history to know if any of their sibling or mother's sister or grandmother has had breast cancer in the family.
So it's very important that you have family history is what you're saying, right? So making sure that the entire female line in the family is actually checked for breast cancer and whether they were susceptible to it, right?
Yeah, and also we need to investigate for hereditary predisposition. But it is seen that only 5% of women with breast cancer develop breast cancer due to hereditary predisposition. That is, they have a faulty gene which may predispose them to develop breast cancer.
All right. So, this entire conversation, this entire topic, we've spoken about how women are actually susceptible to breast cancer and how they need to be aware of it. And even from an early age of 27 is what Dr. Fareema Awaz says. But I have a very important question as well, that what about men? Do men also have to be aware, and do men also have to look after their health and look after the breast cancer?
Yes, is it possible? Man can get breast cancers. I mean, though the statistics are quite low, about less than 1% of the cases are counted for men.
Okay.
But when they do happen in them, they are quite severe. Okay, you need to check out for any lump in the breast or changes in the nipple. The same things basically.
Yes. So similarly to what women would be facing, men, even though Dr. Maria says that it's about less than 1% of detected cases which are actually there, that the cases that are detected are quite severe. So final question then, if you are detected, what are the counseling? What besides the treatment? As I said, stress is something that is very important that happens. How do you is there counseling available, and what would you tell people who have been told that they have breast cancer?
So the diagnosis of breast cancer is as much a psychological blow as a physical one. It can be difficult to process. It is also emotionally challenging. Okay, so counseling is of utmost importance. The counseling needs to be a good group effort. It's not just the doctors, but also the nurses in our ward who are involved with it. Recently, we've had a psychologist who's also added to our team.
So you have a on-board psychologist. All right. And this is all available at the Goa Medical College, right? So if people want to go and get themselves checked, they can go to Goa Medical College, even during these times of the COVID, of pandemics, right? Yes. All right.
Now, this counseling should not be just a one-time thing. It should be an ongoing process, okay? The patients might find the treatment overwhelming, exhausting, and may consider discontinuing the treatment at times. So we need to continuously motivate them, counsel them, boost their morale at each visit, to ensure that they continue with the treatment and complete the entirety of the treatment. Then there's also this issue of body image concern with women. Okay, most of the women report that they do not like their bodies, or they have low self-esteem, or they might have depression. And this is understandable because cancer treatment leaves scars and skin discoloration, as well as hair loss, lymphedema, and vaginal dryness that alter the way a woman lives their life and perceives herself. So we do address these issues in GMC. We do provide them with wigs, breast prosthesis, okay, teach them how to exercises to prevent lymphedema. Then there are family issues to be dealt with, okay. Managing a physical illness like cancer can be isolating and bewildering to patients as well as their families. That feeling of isolation, coupled with the stress of the diagnosis and treatment, often strains the family relationships. So we do counsel the family as well as the patient. So
there's counseling available for the patient as well as the family members of the patient, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listeners, I hope each and every one of you that tuned into this program has got a lot more information about breast cancer awareness. I would like to say a big thank you to Dr. Maria Barreto and Dr. Fareema Awaz, who have joined us this evening from the Goa Medical College based in Bambolim.